Formosa Files is sponsored by the Frank C. Chen Cultural Foundation.
Today we're going to talk about the flag we see flying from schools and post offices, police stations, and other various government buildings in Taiwan. Now, some people call this the flag of Taiwan, and while that is technically incorrect, it's not unforgivable that someone might think that.
Not at all. After all, it's been flying on flagpoles in Taiwan since 1945. Generations of Taiwanese people have grown up with the flag, and some have deep emotional feelings about it. For many people in Taiwan, it's a positive symbol that represents the ideals of the Republic of China. But of course, there are others who don't share that view.
Yes, and with everything connected to modern Taiwan's sovereignty, it's complicated.
You can say that again.
It's complicated. Okay, bad joke. Moving on. Do you know the story of the flag?
The story of the flag of the Republic of China.
Yes, and yes, that is indeed what the flag is. Like I said earlier, it is not actually the flag of Taiwan. Taiwan doesn't have an official flag, at least not today. The ROC flag is a design championed by Dr. Sun Yat-sen, who, of course, was one of the founding fathers of the Republic of China that overthrew the Qing Dynasty in 1911.
Yes, overthrown in 1911, and the new republic was proclaimed in Nanjing on the 1st of January 1912. But the transition was not a smooth one. The Republic of China was certainly not immediately a replacement for the Qing Dynasty. What I mean is, just because they overthrew the emperor doesn't mean that all of China suddenly kowtowed to the new Republic of China authorities. Commanders up in Beijing or over in Chongqing, for example, they didn't immediately begin turning their swords into plowshares.
Definitely. The overthrow of the Qing and the arrival of the ROC set off a several decade-long struggle between various warlords who saw this time of upheaval as a great opportunity to consolidate power in their little regions. It's fair to say these local leaders became, for all intents and purposes, mini emperors. There were a whole bunch of these wannabe lords, generals, dictators, etc., and a lot of them weren't super excited about this new republic.
And this time of squabbling, which went on past Dr. Sun's death in 1925, is called the Warlord Era. And the active phase basically came to a close in 1928 as Chiang Kai-shek came out on top as a new supreme leader, but there were still regional warlords, and there was no peace in China by any means.
Right, quite the opposite, in fact. A civil war with the communists and then war with the Japanese. But back to the Republic of China flag, what is used in Taiwan today. Let's quickly look at what it replaced, the Qing Dynasty flag. You can check our website for images of all the flags we talk about in this episode, but okay, the Qing flag was yellow, or some might say gold, and it featured, surprise, surprise, a dragon.
Yes, the dragon, that lucky symbol of power. The Qing Dynasty flag was visually pretty cool, but certainly not easy to draw. Anyway, when the Republic of China was first proclaimed, very quickly people understood that they needed a new standard, a new flag, but it would take a bit of evolution to get to the Republic of China flag as we know it today. In Taiwan, we celebrate Double 10 Day, which is actually a celebration of an uprising that took place in China's Hubei province on the 10th of October 1911. This Double 10 revolt was called the Wuchang Uprising. Wuchang today is just a district of the infamous city of Wuhan. Yes, Wuhan. But back then, it was a little ways from the city and home to a military garrison. And this was something like the 10th plus time the anti-Qing rebels had tried an uprising. It was really just one of a whole series of rebellions that had taken place around that time, but this one was the charm.
The Wuchang Uprising directly led to the successful overthrow of China's last imperial dynasty, ending over 2,000 years of imperial rule in China and 276 years of the Qing dynasty. So Double 10 is not actually celebrating the founding of the Republic of China, but rather it celebrates the rebellion that later allowed Dr. Sun and others to proclaim the founding of the Republic of China on January 1st, 1912. This Wuchang Uprising is a very interesting story, as I think it owes a lot of its success to, just right time, right place, or even luck, you might say.
Dr. Sun himself, he was traveling in the US at the time trying to get financial support from overseas Chinese. He was asking for money to pursue more rebellions. And from what we know, it doesn't seem that many of the anti-Qing dynasty leaders thought this Wuchang uprising would succeed.
Yeah, and why would they? All the other times the rebels got crushed.
Exactly. So it was a happy surprise for Dr. Sun in the United States when he got the message, "Come home, you're the new president of the Republic of China." Sun and others slowly, they got the news that not only had the Wuchang Uprising been successful, but also that 18 provinces in southern and central China had agreed to secede from the Qing government by the end of December 1911.
The people who led the Wuchang Uprising included members of the association Dr. Sun had founded, called the Tongmenhui. So, this Tongmenhui of China, 中国同盟会, it's variously translated as the Chinese United League or the Chinese Revolutionary Alliance. It was a secret society and underground resistant movement founded by Dr. Sun Yat-sen, Song Jiaoren, and others. And it wasn't founded in China, actually. It was founded in Tokyo, Japan, in August of 1905. And this secret society had one goal: overthrowing China's Qing dynasty.
Right. This Tongmenhui was sort of a merger of several late Qing dynasty Chinese revolutionary groups. And this Tongmenhui organization would later evolve into the Kuomintang or KMT. To get back to the topic at hand, the flag of the people fighting in the revolution who were part of this pre-KMT group founded by Dr. Sun. The flag was the white sun on a blue banner, or what is today part of the Republic of China flag. It's the little box in the top left corner.
The military government in Hubei province, where the Wuchang Uprising occurred, had a completely different flag, however. And again, you can go to our website, formosafiles.com, to see what we're talking about. There was this one flag that they used that had the yin-yang symbol in the center, and then like 9 6-pointed Star of David-style star things surrounding it. It looks to me like some sort of a hippie flag.
Hippie-ish, but without any psychedelics, because it's not colorful at all. It's black, white, gray. But yeah, to make things even more complicated, the flag of the Wuchang Uprising was another completely different one. It featured a red background with a 9-pointed black star that had little yellow circles at the end of each point. Not exactly aesthetically pleasing to my eye, at least.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that. I'm glad we didn't end up with either the hippie one or the Wuchang Uprising flag as the one we fly in Taiwan today.
You know that last flag? It looks like COVID. I swear to God. Have a look at it on our website.
I know what you mean.
It looks
That's
like
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were we? Okay. So symbols of power following revolutions take a bit of time to settle in. In China in 1911, 1912, that blue sky with the white sun flag was flown in 3 provinces. But in Wuhan, they had yet another flag with 18 yellow stars to represent the 18 administrative districts of China at the time.
But then, and I'll say finally, so you don't give up and, wave a white flag of surrender, in Shanghai and some spots in northern China, they flew what was called the 5-colored flag. It had 5 different colored horizontal stripes, and each stripe represented one of the ethnic groups of China. 5 races under one union is how that flag is sometimes called.
Yes, it has 5 horizontal stripes, as you said, and the colors are, from top to bottom, red, yellow, blue, white, and black. I'm not sure how well the colors represent the various nationalities or ethnic groups.
Yeah, the red represented Han Chinese. The Manchus got the color yellow. Blue was for the Mongols. The Hui, or Chinese Muslims, got white. And the Tibetans, for some reason, got black.
Hmm. A few of those are odd choices, but simply based on aesthetics and recognizability. Do you like this 5 stripe flag?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's memorable, easy to draw, and easy to identify from a distance. I mean, it's not incredibly creative, but it's a lot more colorful and interesting than some of the other striped flags we have in the world. Yeah, don't get me started on the red, white, and blue stripes featured by France, the Netherlands, Russia, and like 5 other places.
Hmm. You're not a fan of the French tricolor?
Oh, no, 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 don't get me wrong. The French flag is great. It's just that it looks way too similar to a ton of other red, white, and blue flags. And did you know, incidentally, those 3 colors are the most common colors for flags all over the world? A plurality of the world's flags are red, white, and blue.
Yeah, New Zealand's red, white, and blue.
Mm.
Interesting, but 5 ethnic groups under one union flag. It was destined to go down in history as the flag of traitors. It was used by the warlord Yuan Shikai, who basically forced Sun Yat sen to step down. He became ROC president himself, and then tried to reinstate a monarchy in China with, surprise, surprise, himself as the new emperor. That was very short lived. But yeah, this wannabe emperor used those colors.
Yeah, and then later, this 5-color striped flag we've been talking about would be used by the Japanese puppet government in a fake country they set up in the far north of China called Manchukuo.
Yep, but the 5 color banner was technically the national flag of China from 1912 to 1928. And it had a couple of things going for it. Dr. Sun wanted to stress that despite their desire to overthrow the Qing, who were Manchus, Dr. Sun and his close associates wanted a multi ethnic China. And this flag, with a stripe for all the groups, seemed like a good way to promote this idea. That doesn't mean, however, that everyone was on board with flying it or accepting it.
No, no. The fighters in Wuhan who led the successful Wuchang Uprising wanted to use that 9-star yin yang hippie flag we talked about earlier. But Dr. Sun preferred the blue sky with the white sun flag, and it was deeply personal to him.
Okay, this part I'm not so familiar with. Why was the blue sky with a white sun flag so important to Dr. Sun?
Because it was designed by a close friend of his, a Chinese revolutionary best known by the name Luu Dong. There are streets in Taiwan, we've got one here in Kaohsiung named after him, but he's not exactly super well known here in Taiwan. He was born in Shanghai in 1868 and was executed at the age of 27 in 1895. 1895, you may recall, is the same year Japan became the colonial master of Formosa.
So Luu Dong designed the flag?
Yes, evidently he was quite artistic, and when he and his friend Dr. Sun were trying to figure out an emblem, Lou sketched out I would call it mathematically, but that doesn't really make sense, symmetrically very appealing symbol of a white sun with 12 star like flares coming out. You know, they're triangles, 12 star, they're not stars, but flares coming out of it.
Yes, and that flag is what we now see in the Canton of the flag of the Republic of China.
Oh, is that what it's called? The top corner of a flag is called a canton?
Yep, the rectangular emblem at the top left of a flag. Both your country and my country have flags that feature cantons. I mention such an obscure word because I'm actually setting you up for one of your word plays later.
Okay, we'll see how this works out. Okay, so anyway, Lou sketched out this, symbol, and Dr. Sun apparently was involved and approved of it. But the founder of the Republic of China would embrace this emblem with a whole lot more vigor following the death of his friend, because Luu Dong died as a martyr.
Okay, so you said 1895. So this is one of the early uprisings that was unsuccessful. I think it happened in Guangzhou. Guangzhou, capital city of Guangdong province, closest large city to Hong Kong. And back in the old days, Guangzhou was known as Canton.
Oh, okay. I got it. The flag Canton comes from Canton.
No connection in meaning, just a coincidence, but perhaps useful as an aid to remembering.
Okay, so the sun emblem is a canton, and the ROC one comes from Canton because Dr. Sun was from Canton, which today is Guangzhou, yeah?
Yeah. But anyway, back to the failed uprising in Canton. The Qing authorities got wind of the plot and closed in.
That's right. It was October 1895. A whole bunch of Dr. Sun's anti Qing dynasty revolutionaries escaped, but of course, some didn't and were captured. Luu Dong was in that latter group, but he didn't have to be.
Yeah, I recall. Did he run back to the safe house to look for the incriminating evidence?
It was actually a church in part of Guangzhou, and there was a roster with a bunch of names of other revolutionaries and other important, incriminating documents. So Luu Haldong risked his life to go back to try to burn these papers to try to save his comrades.
But it was a choice that would cost him his life.
Yeah, I read somewhere that the American embassy or perhaps someone who worked there tried to save Lou by telling the authorities, he wasn't a revolutionary, he was a translator. But then another captured revolutionary had a document actually written by Lou himself that clearly stated his role in the revolutionary movement. And, that's enough evidence. He was doomed. So Dr. Sun, he was very moved. He called Luu Haldong the first person in Chinese history who sacrificed his life for a democratic revolution.
Wow. He sounds like quite an interesting person, certainly a brave one.
Yeah, before he was executed, he made a defiant speech. So Lou refused to kneel before the local magistrate and also refused to beg for his life. Before they questioned him, and that's questioned with quotation marks because we all know what questioning in those days entailed, in a word, torture. So the magistrate is like, "You're a talented young man. You're 27. Why would you do this and risk your life? I kind of feel sorry for you. You don't value your life." Lou's response was a bit long, but I think I want to read it all because it's quite interesting. Lou replied to the magistrate, quote, "China is a vast country and it has the highest population in the world, but it is poor and weak because the Qing government is authoritarian and incompetent in foreign policy. My comrades and I originally planned an uprising with the aim of overthrowing the Qing government and replacing it with a new Republican government. I intended to kill one or two persons like you who served the Qing government. Now that our plan has failed, I can't kill you, but you can kill me. What's there to feel sorry about?"
I don't imagine that went down too well with the magistrate.
No. Lou, as well as several other captured revolutionaries, were executed by firing squad, I believe, less than a month after being captured.
All right. So the White Sun banner was important to Dr. Sun and he championed its use. Although he was pretty busy escaping various warlords, fleeing to Japan for a time, and in general trying to fend off a bunch of people who were trying to get rid of him and hijack the revolution.
Right. So you'll observe that the flag we fly today in Taiwan is mostly red, except for that, or was it the Canton, right?
Canton.
Dr. Sun himself is supposed to be the person who added the red part of the flag. So that flag, a combination of Dr. Sun's red earth and Luu Haodong's blue sky and a white sun, that's the flag we see flown across Taiwan today. So the white part has a certain symmetry that kind of reminds me of Japan's flag a bit. Okay, now this is total speculation, but I wonder if Luu Haodong might have gotten a tiny bit of inspiration from the rapidly expanding Japanese empire standard. I get the feeling that they wanted nothing even close to any old Chinese flag. No dragons, no Chinese characters, just a clear, simple symbol. And, Korea has a circle, Japan has a circle.
Okay, Eric, you're suggesting the ROC White Sun emblem could be modeled on the Japanese rising sun flag. You've just hurt the feelings of 1.4 billion Chinese people.
No, I have done none of those things. I was speculating and offering a personal opinion. I love all flags. All flags matter. Hashtag all flags matter.
Tell that to the angry online mob.
I pledge my allegiance to the flag of the Republic.
Okay, too late for that. Anyway, while the mobs are looking up your home address, we should note something many people don't know. In Taiwan today, the white sun on a blue background is part of the national flag of the Republic of China, okay, but also in a slightly different form, it's the party symbol of the KMT. They look very similar, but again, if you check our website, you'll be able to see the difference between the national symbol and the KMT party symbol. They're not actually identical.
Yeah. So, the police officers wearing it, the soldiers are wearing it. That's the national one. And then the KMT has a slightly different one. Yeah, I'll post it online.
Dr. Sun Yat-sen died in 1925, and while there were plenty of places flying his preferred flag while he was alive, it didn't become the undisputed Republic of China flag until Chiang Kai-shek came to power and, for a while at least, consolidated power over most of China. Once that happened, we could say from 1928 onward, the flag designed by Luu Dong and Dr. Sun, it's been the official flag of the Republic of China.
Yeah, and the Republic of China fought the Axis powers during the Second World War. So in old movies or old newsreels, you'll see the same flag that flies in Taiwan flying during a battle or maybe behind Chiang Kai-shek as he's giving a speech in China, for example.
Yep, and despite the divisions between China and Taiwan today, the white sun on a blue background banner is not exactly completely forbidden in China today. If you visit the tomb of Dr. Sun in Nanjing, you'll see that image everywhere. It's carved into the roof of the rotunda where his grave is, and in lots of other places around the mausoleum. I mean, after all, it was one of the most important symbols that was used during the overthrow of the last imperial dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, the People's Republic of China isn't a huge fan of the version of the flag we fly in Taiwan today. But in a historical context, it's generally accepted for what it is, the flag of the Republic of China, which, of course, the People's Republic of China would argue doesn't exist anymore. And we're back to it's complicated.
Not complicated at all. The Chi-Com bandits have a commie PRC flag, and we have the ROC flag, which has evolved in meaning from being a Free China flag to a Taiwan flag.
Chi-Com bandits. Sounds like something they would paint on a wall in Jinmen in 1950.
Well, this flag talk has my patriotic juices flowing,
Mhm.
And the ROC flag, of course, it first flew over Taiwan 1945 after the Japanese surrender, ending World War II. Before that time in Taiwan, Japanese Formosa, right? So it's mostly the red sun flag of Japan flying.
Okay, so let me try to summarize. The island of Taiwan currently does not have an official flag of its own, but the area governed by the Republic of China, which includes the main island of Taiwan, the Penghu Archipelago, Green Island, Orchid Island, the islands and islets of Jinmen and Mazu, and then a couple other small little islands in the South China Sea still fly the ROC flag, favored by Dr. Sun Yat-sen, and school children sing the flag song on certain days at school.
Nice music, actually. Do you want me to sing a few lines from the ROC flag song? I've actually been practicing it.
Oh, yeah, we would all love that. I think our listeners would love that too, but it's such a pity we've run out of time. Thank you all for listening to Formosa Files.
Maybe next time. Okay, bye.
Yeah.